Two people earn $75,000 per year. Same job, same income, same city, same cost of living. One retires at 55, financially free, traveling the world and spending time with family. The other works until 70, stressed about money, living paycheck to paycheck, and wondering where it all went wrong. Same salary, completely different lives. What's the difference? It's not luck. It's not inheritance. It's not a side hustle that made millions. It's one hidden variable that most people never think about but determines everything: savings rate. This is the percentage of your income you save and invest versus spend. It's the single most powerful financial lever you control, and it's why two people with identical incomes end up in completely different financial realities. I'm Kyle, and today I'm breaking down why savings rate matters more than income, how to calculate yours, what the optimal target is, and how to increase it without feeling deprived. This will change how you think about money forever. Let's dive in. The hidden variable is this. It's not how much you earn, it's how much you keep. Income is what you make. Savings rate is what you save divided by what you make. If you earn $75,000 and save $7,500, your savings rate is 10%. If you earn $75,000 and save $30,000, your savings rate is 40%. That 30% difference doesn't just mean one person saves more. It means they reach financial independence decades earlier. Here's the math. Someone earning $75,000 with a 10% savings rate, $7,500 a year, investing at 7% will take 51 years to accumulate 25x their annual expenses, the amount needed for financial independence using the 4% rule. Someone earning the same $75,000 with a 40% savings rate, $30,000 a year, will reach financial independence in 22 years. Same income, same returns, but one person is free at 47, the other at 76. The difference is savings rate. Income determines your lifestyle. Savings rate determines your freedom. Here's why most people miss this. Society obsesses over income. I need to earn six figures. I need a raise. I need a promotion. But income alone doesn't build wealth. It just enables higher spending. The average person earning $50,000 saves 5 to 10%. The average person earning $150,000 also saves 5 to 10%. Why? Lifestyle inflation. As income increases, spending increases proportionally. The $50,000 earner lives modestly and saves $5,000. The $150,000 earner lives expensively and saves $15,000. Both are saving 10%, but the high earner feels broke because they've upgraded everything: house, car, vacations, restaurants, subscriptions. Meanwhile, the person earning $60,000 who saves 30%, $18,000 a year, is building wealth faster than the $150,000 earner saving 10%. Savings rate is the great equalizer. It's why teachers and nurses who live frugally retire as millionaires, and doctors and lawyers who live expensively work into their 70s. Income gets the headlines. Savings rate builds the wealth. Let's break down what different savings rates mean in real terms. 10% savings rate. You'll work 51 years to reach financial independence. This is the average American, and it's a life sentence of work. 20% savings rate. 37 years to FI. Better, but still spending most of your life working. 30% savings rate. 28 years to FI. If you start at 25, you're free at 53. Now we're talking. 40% savings rate. 22 years to FI. Start at 25, free at 47. This is the sweet spot for most people pursuing financial independence. 50% savings rate, 17 years to FI. Aggressive, but achievable if you're disciplined. Start at 25, free at 42. 60% savings rate, 12.5 years to FI. Extreme frugality, but some people do it. 70% savings rate, 8.5 years to FI. Nearly impossible unless you have very low expenses or very high income. The pattern is clear. Every 10% increase in savings rate cuts years or decades off your working life. This is the most powerful financial metric you control. Here's the paradox. Increasing savings rate feels impossible, but it's easier than increasing income. Most people think, I can't save more, I'm already stretched. But when you audit spending, you find subscriptions you don't use, dining out you could cut, cars you overfinanced, housing you oversized. The average American spends 33% of income on housing, 16% on transportation, 13% on food, and 12% on insurance. Most of this is negotiable. You can't easily double your income, but you can cut expenses by 20 to 30% in a month. You can move to a cheaper place, you can sell the financed car and buy used. You can meal prep instead of eating out. You can eliminate subscriptions. Each of these decisions increases savings rate, which compounds into years of freedom. The person earning $60,000 who cuts expenses from $54,000 to $42,000 just went from 10% savings rate to 30% and cut 23 years off their working life. Same income, different life. The variable is spending discipline. Let's talk about the two people earning $75,000. Person A saves 10% or $7,500 a year and spends $67,500. They have a nice apartment, $2,000 a month, a financed car, $500 a month, eat out frequently, $600 a month, subscribe to everything, $200 a month, and take expensive vacations, $5,000 a year. They live comfortably but paycheck to paycheck. After 30 years, they have around $700,000 saved. Using the 4% rule, that generates $28,000 per year in retirement, not enough to maintain their $67,500 lifestyle. They're forced to work longer or downgrade drastically. Person B saves 40% or $30,000 a year and spends $45,000. They live in a smaller place, $1,200 a month, drive a paid-off used car, cook at home, avoid subscriptions, and take budget trips. They feel slightly constrained but not deprived. After 22 years, they have $1.125 million saved, which generates $45,000 a year, exactly their lifestyle cost. They're financially independent at 47. Same salary, radically different outcomes. The only difference, savings rate.
Here's what high savings rate actually looks like in practice. It's not deprivation, it's optimization. You live in a smaller, cheaper place that meets your needs but doesn't impress anyone. You drive a reliable used car that's paid off. You cook most meals at home and enjoy it. You avoid financing anything. If you can't buy it cash, you don't buy it. You cut subscriptions ruthlessly. Keep what you actually use, cancel the rest. You take affordable vacations, camping, road trips, budget travel, instead of luxury resorts. You buy quality over quantity, fewer, better things that last. You avoid lifestyle inflation. When income increases, you bank it instead of spending it. You prioritize experiences over possessions. You measure purchases by hours of freedom cost. If something costs $1,000 and you value your time at $50 an hour, it costs 20 hours of your life. High savings rate is intentional living. You're choosing long-term freedom over short-term comfort. It's not suffering, it's strategy. Here's how to calculate and optimize your savings rate. Step 1. Calculate gross annual income. If you earn $75,000, that's your starting point. Step 2. Subtract taxes and mandatory deductions. If you pay $15,000 in taxes, your take-home is $60,000. Step 3. Calculate total annual savings and investments. 401k, IRA, brokerage accounts, savings. Let's say $12,000. Step 4. Your savings rate is savings divided by gross income. $12,000 divided by $75,000 equals 16%. Step 5. To increase savings rate, either increase income or decrease expenses. Most people have more control over expenses. Step 6. Audit spending ruthlessly. Track every dollar for 1 month. Identify waste. Step 7. Cut one major expense, housing, car, or discretionary spending. Redirect that money to savings. Step 8. Automate savings so it happens before spending. Step 9. Repeat annually. Every percentage point increase compounds into months or years of freedom. Let's address the objection, I can't save more, I have kids, debt, responsibilities. This is true for some, but not most. The median American household earns $75,000 and saves 5 to 7%, but there are families earning $50,000 saving 30% and families earning $150,000 saving 0%. The difference isn't income, it's priorities and discipline. Yes, kids are expensive, but people raise kids on $40,000 and $140,000, and the kids turn out fine. Yes, debt is a burden, but people with debt still buy new cars and eat out weekly. The reality is that for most people, increasing savings rate is possible. It's just uncomfortable. It requires saying no to things you want. It requires living below your peers. It requires delaying gratification. But the alternative is working until 70. The people who increase savings rate don't have more income. They have more discipline. And that discipline buys them decades of freedom. Here's what happens when you optimize for savings rate instead of income. You stop chasing raises and start cutting waste. You stop comparing yourself to peers and start tracking your own progress. You stop inflating lifestyle and start banking growth. You stop financing purchases and start buying assets. You stop reacting to advertising and start making intentional choices. You measure wealth by freedom, not possessions. You calculate purchases by opportunity cost. You invest aggressively in boring index funds. You avoid debt like poison. You automate everything. You track net worth monthly. You increase contributions with every raise. You resist social pressure. You live well below your means. You define enough and stop when you hit it. You exit the rat race while everyone else is still running. This isn't deprivation, it's liberation. You're choosing freedom over consumption, and every percentage point you save brings that freedom closer. The people who master savings rate share specific traits. They track spending obsessively and know where every dollar goes. They automate savings before they can spend it. They avoid lifestyle inflation no matter how much income grows. They live in modest housing and drive used cars. They cook at home and avoid eating out. They buy used, refurbished, or discounted goods. They cut subscriptions annually. They take cheap vacations. They avoid debt entirely. They invest the difference between income and spending. They calculate financial independence date and work backward. They measure success by years to freedom, not salary size. They're invisible millionaires, wealthy but unremarkable. They don't look rich because they prioritize being rich over looking rich. By age 45 to 55, they're financially independent while their peers are still grinding. Same starting salaries, radically different outcomes. The variable was always savings rate. Start today. Calculate your current savings rate. If it's under 20%, identify one major expense to cut this month. Automate increased contributions. Track progress. Increase by 5% annually. Every percentage point you increase brings freedom closer. Tell me in the comments, what's your current savings rate and what's one expense you'll cut this week to increase it? Same salary, different life. The choice is yours. Let's build freedom together.